How you going? Want to talk about V8 Supercar fans, or Supercar fans, or whatever it's called, and their delusional opinions of Shane Van Gisbergen. We start by saying I think Shane Van Gisbergen is a brilliant driver, and I wasn't aware of him. I may have heard the name, but I really wasn't aware of him until Justin Marks announced he was coming to America to race at Chicago last year. So obviously him coming from this part of the world, I was interested in and watched, and his drive there at Chicago was outstanding. But there's a couple of factors that came into that win. One being he's had 15 years experience on street racing. The Cup Series guys have none. And secondly, he's got 15 years experience of racing in the rain. The Cup Series guys have raced in the rain twice in 76 years. So he had a leg up. But that doesn't take away from how brilliant his drive was. Since then, he's been in the Xfinity Series, doing a full season there, and he's won a couple, 3 out of 5 road course races, and had a couple of top 10s and on the ovals, and so he's done pretty good. But also, there's a couple of factors there too. He's racing against kids and guys who didn't make it in Cup in the Xfinity Series. He's the oldest and most experienced driver in the Xfinity Series. So I would expect him to be successful and run well. Now in the Cup Series this year, he's had a couple of good runs on the road course events. Got one taken away from him by Chris Buescher, and it was taken from him. He was outdriven. He was forced into a mistake, and then he was out-muscled through the corner. But since then, apart from that, he's really he's been up the front and had cars. Like, he's in good equipment. He's in Tier 1 equipment. So, and Tier 1, I don't think Supercar fans understand what that means. I think they think it's just what someone's opinion is. A Tier 1 team is someone who's got full manufacturer support. So in Chevrolet, you've got Hendrick, RCR, Trackhouse, and is that all? 3? Maybe that's all. Maybe it's just the 3 Tier 1 teams. Colleagues on a Tier 1 team. But the Supercar fans have this thing where no matter what he does, when he doesn't win, it's always they've got this booklet of excuses. He wasn't on his good tyres, or they made a mistake. He got punted. Like, it's just a myriad. They just go through their booklet of excuses as to why he didn't win, and not just accepting that he didn't win. They keep on saying he's the best road course driver in the Cup Series. I don't believe he is. I think he's one of the best. He's not any better than the top 5 or 10 Cup drivers on road courses. He's as good as them, but he's not better than them. So, but the Supercar fans have been fed this propaganda by Supercars and for so long that supercars are the greatest thing on earth, and supercar drivers are the greatest drivers on earth, and they've been drinking this Kool-Aid for so long that their whole system is saturated with it, and they believe every word of it, and then they spew it out. The supercar drivers are good drivers. I'm not going to dispute that. Some of them are great. And Bathurst is a great event and highlights how good those guys are. But they're not any better than other tin top drivers in the world. Supercars isn't viewed very highly in world motorsport. Oh my God, don't say that. It's the fucking best thing in the world. It's not. You know, people don't talk about supercars when they're talking about tin top series throughout the world as being great. Only here in Australia do we trot that out and do supercars, and the media here trot that out that Australia's the greatest. It's just simply not true. Justin Marks, who's got a supercar driver driving for him the other day, talked about how he wanted to get involved in other series throughout the world, other great, road racing series, and he rattled a bunch of them off and didn't even mention supercars because it's not on their radar. Motorsport teams throughout the world, big time motorsport teams, don't rate it. That's why you never see any current great drivers at the top of their game in other series come out and race in Australia. They just don't do it because they don't care. There's no prize money for a start. You can't win anything. It's a regional series that nobody cares about except Aussie bogans wearing their wife beaters, drinking VB in their garage with photos of Peter Brock on the wall. That's the demographic, and that's who watch it. So, yeah, you've really got to put your heads in and have a more logical look at where Shane is. He's doing great. This is my prediction for his career in Cup. I think he'll be successful. I think he'll be a big name and successful. I think he'll win possibly one, maybe even two road course races a year for every year he's in the Cup Series. And that could be up to 5, stretching maybe 7 years. But I'd say up to 5 realistically. He will never win a Cup championship. There's just no pathway for him to do that. He doesn't have the skills to do that on an oval, because oval track racing is another one you're not going to like. It's way more technical and way more difficult than circuit racing. Shane's even said that. He's made a statement that in circuit racing you have the same line you're going for at every corner, where in Cup the track changes so much with rubber and things happening during the day that your lines change, and so the technical aspect of it is much higher. I think he's going to do well. I think he's going to come home a very wealthy man, but he won't win a championship. I think next year you guys are in for a world of pain because it's going to be tough. He's going to have a really hard year. So enjoy it, watch, but don't get too excited. Cheers.